Are you thinking about buying your first home? If so, use these 10 steps to start the process with confidence. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Kamika, and this is Well Balanced Wallet, where I help you create healthy money habits and live a life that you love on your current budget. Today's video is the ultimate guide for first-time home buyers. Understanding the complete home buying process is key to having a successful home buying experience. Before making an offer, I want to make sure you understand each step for a smooth road to home ownership. So let's get started. Step number one is to do your research. There are several things that you should research before putting an offer on a home. You want to research potential lenders, interest rates that they offer. You want to think about the amount of money that you have to put down on a home and how long it would take you to pay that off, if this amount would be sustainable. You want to research the different types of loans, the FHA loans, the conventional loans, VA loans. You want to make sure you understand each of those loans and choose one that is right for your situation. Step number two is to create a budget for the home buying process. When creating your home buying budget, you want to take a few things into consideration. So you want to think about the amount of money that you have for a down payment. And if that amount is less than 20% of the purchase price of the home that you're looking at, you want to make sure that you have money in your budget for PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. And that's just insurance that some lenders charge when you have less than a 20% down payment to make sure that you're going to repay your loan. You also want to have a category for one-time fees, which is things like lawyers and title insurance and all those other little fees that come along with buying a home. And lastly, you want to have money for your closing costs. When we purchased our home, our closing costs were around $10,000. So this budget is going to make sure that you are on top of everything financial for the home buying process. The third step in the home buying process is to check your credit. So your credit score is one of the factors that helps determine the terms of your loan. It's really simple to check your credit report. You have access to 3 credit reports per month, one from each of the credit bureaus through annualcreditreport.com. And since the pandemic started, they have increased the amount of times that you can pull your credit to once per week. Until the end of 2021, I believe. Also, if you don't want to pull your credit that way, you can get a ballpark idea from creditkarma.com. And that's just something that you can log into quickly to get a ballpark figure, but your true credit report is going to be pulled from the 3 credit bureaus. When you pull your credit report, you want to look it over and make sure everything there looks accurate. And if it's not accurate, you have the opportunity to go ahead and dispute it. And if everything is accurate but your credit score is low, you can look into paying off some of your debt, or you can talk to a representative at your bank for different things that you can do to increase your credit score based on your credit report. So the next step is to find a real estate agent. Your real estate agent is going to be your go-to person during the home buying process. This person is going to make sure you make a strong offer, help you negotiate if you get into a bidding war, and they know the market really well, so they can tell you if this is a good time to buy. They can help you look for a property that meets all of your standards, and they can even point out things when you go to view a home that you wouldn't even know to look for. So you want to find a top-rated agent, and to do this, you can ask around. You can ask your current neighbors, you can ask your family and friends that live in your area, but you want to make sure you get a top-rated real estate agent. Most real estate websites will have reviews from their agents, so you can go to their review section and review each of the real estate agents and choose the one that best fits you. You can also find a good real estate agent on Facebook for your local areas. You just kind of have to dig around and ask around and make sure you always look at the reviews for the person that you want to choose. Step 5 is to get a pre-approval letter. A pre-approval letter is a letter that you get from your lender that shows that you are eligible to get a mortgage loan from this lender. When you have this letter, it shows the sellers that you're serious, and it could be the determining factor on whether they go with you or whether they choose another offer that may be a little bit stronger. So this letter gives you a competitive advantage because it shows the amount of loan that you're eligible to take out, and it shows that you've already been in contact with the lender and this lender definitely wants to work with you. In order to get this letter, you have to submit documents to your lender. So that would be things like your check stubs, your bank statements, and your credit report. And once you get this pre-approval letter, do not make any large purchases. If you make a large purchase after this point, it could change the complete terms of your pre-approval letter and you may no longer be eligible. The next step is to gather documents. You want to make sure that you gather your documents and submit them as quickly as possible while you're going through this process. And you can do this before you even find a home. A few of the documents that your lender may be looking for are 2 years work history, 2 years of your address history. They may ask for a rental history. You're gonna need probably 2 years of your bank statements and copies of at least the past 2 check stubs and tax returns. Depending on your situation, you may need more documents or less documents than that, but make sure you have these things readily available because they're going to be necessary for you to be approved for a loan. Step 7 is to find a home. This is the most exciting part of the process because you get to look at different homes, you get to figure out what you like, what's a non-negotiable, what your house must have, and you also have peace of mind because you already have your pre-approval letter and you know how much house you can buy. So during this step, make sure you communicate with your real estate agent and let them know what you want your house to have, what things you will not settle for, and what type of neighborhoods and schools you want to be located near. Your real estate agent is going to pull a list and give you a few options to look at, and you're able to tell them, yes, I want to look at this, and or no, I don't want to look at this one. And you can also find houses on your own through websites like Zillow and Trulia and forward those to your real estate agent, and they can give you more information about these homes and schedule visits for you if it's a good fit. So when you find the perfect home and you put in an offer, then you can go ahead and call your loan advisor and give them information about the home, such as the address, the purchase price, the amount of money that you want to put down on the home, and the estimated amount of the HOA if the home has one, or any other fees that are related to the neighborhood that you're moving in. At this point, your pre-approval letter turns into a mortgage application. Step number 8 is to get final approval. So during this step, a few different things happen at once and things start moving really quickly. So one thing that's going to happen is your loan advisor is going to collect all of those documents that I mentioned earlier from you, and the faster you get those submitted, the faster you get your final approval. While this is going on, you're also going to get an inspection on the home and you're going to get the home appraised, and you do have to pay out of pocket for the inspection and the appraisal. You can't add those things to your loan. A couple of other things that are going on in the background are you finding your homeowner's insurance and presenting that to your loan officer, and finding out how much your escrow account is going to be if your lender requires an escrow account. And that's just an account that your lender keeps for you to collect your taxes and HOA fees or any other fees associated with the property, and your lender will pay those things for you throughout the duration of your mortgage. Once you get your final approval, then you'll start to receive closing documents, which will tell you the amount of your closing and any other relevant information that you need. And also, if anything was going on during your inspection and you wanted to have the seller to fix anything at the property, that's going on during this step as well. You'll know when you're almost at the finish line when you receive your final closing documents, and you should receive those at least 3 days before your closing date. Step 9 is attend your closing. So your closing is where you're going to do your final walkthrough of the property, make sure that any repairs that were supposed to be made have been made, make sure that the home is in the condition that it was the last time you saw it, and if anything is out of whack, let your real estate agent know and they will make the necessary calls to see what the next steps are for that. So the final walkthrough is usually a couple of hours before your closing appointment. So once you've done the final walkthrough and everything looks good, it's time to go to your closing appointment. Now, our closing appointment was at a lawyer's office, and I'm not sure if that was because of COVID or if it's standard practice to have closing at a lawyer's office, but there are a couple of people that may be in attendance at closing, and that would be your loan advisor, your settlement lawyer, a representative from the title company. You may see your real estate agent there. You may even see the sellers in the hallway as you walk in the door and they're walking out. It just depends on the timing. Now, a few things that you need to remember to bring to closing are your ID, your bank account information, and your wire transfer information if you need to transfer any funds for your down payment or your closing costs. And you also need to be prepared to sign a ton of documents. Our closing packet was about this thick, and we were signing our names forever. And the last step is to get your keys and move in. So you finally made it to the end. This is a pretty long process, but once you get your keys, you're ready to move in. The home is yours, and you can start decorating and painting or whatever it is that you want to do to the home. Once you finish with your closing, you should be provided the keys to your property, and if your seller has left any notes or information about the home, you'll get that at the end of closing as well. So this is the point in the process where you can actually breathe. And if you've put off any major purchases during this process, now you can go out and make them. So I know it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but the home buying process can last from 30 to 45 days, or it can be a little bit longer depending on how quickly you can get those documents back to your loan advisor. So you want to make sure you pay attention to all of the emails and communicate with your loan advisor as soon as anything comes through. And you also want to make sure you do not make any big purchases during any steps of this process, because that can throw off the whole deal and you may not be able to purchase a home. So while this process may be stressful, owning your own home will be worth it in the end. So now I want to hear from you. Are you planning on purchasing a home anytime soon? Or have you already started the process of purchasing a home? Let me know in the comments below, and drop your favorite emoji if you've made it this far. That's all for this video, so be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and click the link on your screen right now for more Well Balanced Wallet content. See you there.